Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's topic is blockchain stocks. Blockchain is one of the most trendiest new areas where stock investors want to invest their money in. So in today's video, we will go over the top 10 biggest blockchain companies. What are they? Among them, there are blockchain mining companies. So we are going to do a comparison between the 5 blockchain mining companies, which is HIVE, HUT, BITF, RIOT, and MARA. If you get any value out of today's video, leave a like, and without further ado, let's dive in. The distributed ledger technology and blockchain are one of the most trendiest investing topic these days among the retail investors, and even it's garnering a lot of attention from these big institutions. Of course, the main reason behind this enthusiasm is the rise of cryptocurrencies. Everybody, your neighbor, their mother, everybody knows about what is a Bitcoin, what is Ethereum, what is Coinbase. Everybody has started talking about these investment vehicles. And that is the reason why you see such a rise of these investment vehicles, including improving the existing technology, data inflow, workflow, security of these network chains, etc. have popped up and given a lot of investing opportunities for the investors. Now, blockchain technology is very specific to blockchain itself, and it is basically evolved from its ecosystem. Blockchain technology has evolved so much that there are so many use cases that have come out with. Some of them are like tokenizing pixel art, fantasy football leagues, digital worlds where you can buy a piece of virtual real estate. That's what we talk about, the metaverse, and so many other use cases. And this gives a rise to a lot of investing opportunities. We also have these mining companies. Now, mining basically is a metaphor for the computational work that nodes in the network they undertake in hopes of earning new tokens. In reality, the miners are essentially getting paid for their work as auditors. They are doing the work of verifying the legitimacy of the crypto transaction. But let's say if you were a gold or a silver miner, you are basically taking your shovel and the pick, going down to the mines and mining those minerals. So that's exactly what you're doing in the digital world. You are going to be mining these tokens. Any token mining is the process by which the new tokens are entered into circulation. It is also the way the network confirms new transactions and is a critical component of the blockchain's ledger maintenance and development. Mining is performed using sophisticated hardware that solves an extremely complex computational math problem. The first computer to find solution to the problem receives the next block of Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency, and the process begins again. So that was a very quick intro on what is blockchain and what is blockchain mining. Now, moving on to the next top 10 biggest companies in the blockchain technology are Coinbase, Monex Group, Bit Mining Limited, Canon, Voyager, SOS, HIVE, Silvergate, RIOT, and Bitfarm. Now, these are the top 10 companies which are relatively young but are growing rapidly. Now, this list of top 10 was based on trailing 12-month revenue and not based on their market cap. So these are the 5 companies that we are going to focus in today's video, and we'll do a comparison and look at the stock price, financial data behind these companies, as well as look at the upside potential of these companies. So the 5 companies we in focus are the HIVE Blockchain Technology, ticker symbol HIVE, HUT 8 Mining Corp, ticker symbol HUT, Bitfarm Limited, ticker symbol BITF, RIOT Blockchain, ticker symbol RIOT, and Marathon Digital Holdings, MARA. Looking at the market cap of these companies, HIVE has about $780 million market cap, HUT has over $1 billion market cap, Bitfarms is $743 million, RIOT is $1.93 billion, and among these, MARA takes the crown of being $2.4 billion market cap. Next up is the enterprise value of these companies. For HIVE, the enterprise value is $797, which is very much in line with their market cap. HUT has $912, which is also in line with their market cap. For the Bitfarm, the enterprise value is $721 million, but their market cap is cut $743 million. The RIOT also has the enterprise value and market cap very much in line, whereas in MARA, the enterprise value is lower than their market cap. From a Wall Street analyst standpoint, there are not many analysts that are covering the blockchain mining companies at the current moment, but RIOT takes the crown over here with 8 analysts covering that. When a lot more analysts, they cover companies, they look at the company from various perspectives and they bring their perspective on why the company will do good or not do good in the future. So from retail investor standpoint, it is important for us to see many more analysts covering these stocks so that we can get a lot more information and we can get different points of view when investing in a company. From a trading standpoint, the current stock price of HIVE is $2, HUT is $6.49, Bitfarm is $3.81, RIOT is at $16.57, and Mara is at 23.51. HIVE is very close to their 52-week low. HUT is the 52-week high was $16. The stock is trading at $6.49. The Bitfarm very near to their 52-week low. Riot, on the other hand, is also nearing its 52-week low. Now, the 52-week high of Riot was $79, and the stock is trading at $16.57. So if you are an investor that got into Riot when it was in the 50-60 range, I'm sure you must be hurting. This video will try to give you some of the insights which you can take into account as you look into investing more in these companies or not. Same thing with Mara. Mara had a 52-week high of $83. The stock is trading at $23.51, which is very close to their 52-week low of $18.32. Looking at their price versus 52-week high, all the stocks are declined at least 60%. That's a big chunk which has been shaved off of their stock price, which also shows similarly in their total returns, whether you're looking at a 1 month, 3 month, 6 month, 9 month return. Most of the stocks are in negative except HUT, which has returned in the 9 months about 29%. Now we're going to skip the dividends because none of these companies, they pay dividends. We are also skipping the valuation part right now because most of these companies are not at that stage where we can value them company. They are not value stocks, they are not growth stocks, they are hyper growth stocks. So the valuation piece does not even come into this picture. But what we want to look at, we want to look at their growth, we want to look at their revenue, we want to look at their balance sheet, and then assess which of these companies is a good match for you to buy, sell, or hold. From a revenue growth standpoint, we are seeing that year over year, HIVE has a 359% revenue growth. HUT has a 202%. Bitfarm is 257%. Riot has 1,497%. That's massive. And Mara has even better 4,562% revenue growth year over year. So just from a revenue growth standpoint, Mara again takes the crown. But let's be honest, none of these revenue growths are supposed to be sneezed at. They are insane in triple digits and 4 digits. Also, from an EBITDA growth year over year standpoint, HIVE has about 612%, HUT has 468%, Bitfarm has 1,279%. Again, a very good metric, and for Riot and Mara, they were not mentioned, so we don't know that yet. Now, next up is profitability of these companies, because great, you're bringing in revenue, but is your company profitable or not? That's what matters a lot for us as investors. Now, looking at their gross profit margin, HIVE has about 83.49%, HUT has 59.58%, Bitfarm has 61.77%, Riot is very similar, 16.3%, and Mara unfortunately is in loss. So even though Mara takes the crown for the above two of the market cap as well as the total revenue growth, their gross profit margin is in negative, cause of concern right there. Next up will be the net income margin. So net income margin is 76% for HIVE, 51% for HUT, only 5.84% for BITF, and Riot has 12, and then of course Mara is also in negative. Next up is cash from operations. HIVE is generating 40.39 million, HUT is negative 41 million, BITF is negative 27, Riot is negative 63 million, and Mara is negative 48 million. So among these companies, HIVE is the only company that is generating cash from operations. From an ownership standpoint, shares outstanding are 390 million for HIVE, 166 million for HUT, 195 for BITF, 116 for Riot, and 102 for Mara. The insiders, they own about 0.37% in HIVE, 1.81% in HUT, 9.75% in BITF, 67.67% in Riot, and 6.31% in Mara. The insiders, they don't own a lot of shares. Institutional ownership, however, is 13% in HIVE, 20% in HUT, 19% in BITF, 30% in Riot, and 38.44% in Mara. The higher the institutional investment in, which means that the institutions are considering that the company has a lot of potential to provide gains, and that's why they have increased institutional ownership, which is also a good sign and gives stability to the company as we move forward. So we would like to see better institutional ownership in HIVE, BITF, and HUT as they grow to the 30s and 40% levels, just like Riot and Mara. We also want to see if there are any short interest on the company, on these stocks or not. So from a short interest standpoint, we don't have any reported numbers on HIVE, but in HUT we have 6.27% short interest, BITF has 4.07%, RIOT has 16.66 and 20.98, which is almost 21% short interest, which is very high on MARA. There's a lot of short interest on RIOT and MARA, which is very surprising considering they have very high institutional ownership, and I guess they are expecting the stock to fall down even further. Let's jump on to the income statement for these companies. So in a revenue standpoint, HIVE has brought in 136, HUT has brought out 101, BITF is 121, RIOT is 127, and MARA is $92 million. So from a revenue standpoint, HIVE is generating way more revenue than any of these other companies on the list. Gross profit is also the similar. HIVE is actually 114 million in gross profit, and rest of these companies are 60, 74, 81, and MARA unfortunately is in loss. Total cash the companies have is about 20 million for HIVE, 176 million for HUT, 43 million for BITF, RIOT 71, MARA 241. So MARA does have a lot more cash with them. Total debt standpoint, HIVE has 36.52 million debt, HUT has 8.16, BITF has 21.12, RIOT has 8.38, and MARA, I guess it's not reported or the numbers are incorrect here. And lastly, we are going to look at the net operating cash flow. For HIVE, it's 40.39, HUT is negative 41 million, BITF is also negative, RIOT is also negative, and MARA is also negative. One other aspect I want to look at for these companies is the long-term debt. So we have a $31 million long-term debt which is reported on HIVE, and we have 568,000 on BITF. And for these other companies, there are no long-term debt at least reported on this sheet. This was a comparison sheet of how the company looks from a performance standpoint, from a revenue standpoint, from a growth standpoint. Let's look at their stock price performance and the estimate on the stock price. So the current stock price target for HIVE blockchain is $5. So we can see an upside of 150% from here onwards. For HUT, the current stock price is $6.49, and the estimated average stock price is $19.41, where you can see 199% upside from here onwards. For BITF, the stock price is trading as $3.81, and the upside potential is $10. You can see an 162% upside from here onwards. For RIOT, the stock price is $16.57. So the 6 analysts that are covering, they have a 6 buy rating, and the stock price could go as high as $44. That's the average between the analysts, and you can see 166% upside from here onwards. And lastly, MARA is trading at $23.51. We have a strong buy with 5 analysts. The price target is 61 and 60 in the next 12 months. So you could see a 162% upside from here onwards. So as we saw the price targets for most of these companies, we have either a buy or a strong buy on all the companies. However, there are only a couple of analysts that are reporting these. So you are seeing at least 100% upside for most of these companies. Now, having said that, the price targets are one thing. However, you also have to take into account the macro conditions of the economy. So if the economy is going to become more expensive, which means the interest rates are going to rise, it will be difficult to borrow the money. You have new regulations coming into place. That may impact the stock price in the short term for these companies. But I am very confident on the blockchain mining stocks because we are seeing even the governments around the world are now looking at getting into the digital world by offering digital currency. So let me know in the comments which of these stocks do you own and which of these stocks are you most bullish or bearish on. I would love to know your thoughts. So if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit the like, click on subscribe and ring the bell notification. I will see you next time, Investor Family, but don't forget to invest for tomorrow.